Okay, I swear this is going to be the last time we talk about this. We've already made 2 videos going over Jonathan Drouin, Marty St. Louis, the Canadiens situation heading into their game against the Tampa Bay Lightning, and all of the undertones in between. Long story short, before the Canadiens played off against Tampa, you had Jonathan Drouin, who reportedly was late to a team meeting. That same day, he ended up missing the entirety of practice, not because he wasn't there, but because he just wasn't allowed to practice as some sort of discipline for Marty St. Louis, the head coach of the team. We then had ourselves pretty much a conclusion made by people in the media that said, okay, Drouin is probably not going to play tomorrow against Tampa Bay. You saw the disciplinary action given out to him in the form of him not being able to attend practice, how Marty St. Louis talked about it in the media. So it's probably a likely conclusion that he's not going to play. But then yesterday we had ourselves an update that one Caden Cooley was not available for game action. And because you had a guy coming out, the Canadiens, with their 11-forward setup, needed to have Drouin in the lineup in order to have an NHL rule-compliant lineup. They needed Drouin on the bench because if they didn't, if they had that amount of guys sitting out, it wouldn't be illegal. So, he was announced that he would be dressed. But Marty St. Louis did not say he would be playing. And yesterday we had ourselves the game, Montreal versus Tampa Bay, and Drouin ended up not playing a single second. We made the video saying, hey, it wouldn't be surprising if he gets limited ice time because of this disciplinary situation, the response to him being late for team practice, etc., etc. He's probably not going to play too much. But I'm not going to lie, I didn't expect him to play literally 0 minutes of ice time, 0 seconds of ice time the entire game. Talk about sending a message and talk about putting your foot down, Marty St. Louis. What I wanted to do here was go over some tweets talking about the situation, just kind of giving our final thoughts on everything. This was Arpon Basu from yesterday morning. Caden Cooley is absent from the Canadiens' morning skate. If he can't go tonight, it would mean Drouin is playing. Drouin might have played regardless, of course, but the Canadiens only have 1 extra with them in Tampa. The Habs announced Cooley is out tonight with a lower body injury. Reminder, he did return to finish the Florida game after crashing feet first into the end boards. What I also wanted to do was go over some more tweets talking about the stats and everything that went down after the game was complete. Canadiens' Jonathan Drouin is the first player to tally 0-0-0 of ice time in a game for disciplinary reasons since Buffalo's Sam Reinhart on March 28, 2017 versus Columbus. Now, if we take a time machine back to 2017, 6 years ago, and review what it was that Reinhart ended up doing, it was essentially the same thing. Sabre Sam Reinhart is being benched for arriving late to a team stretch. And there were some comments that were very similar to what happened with Drouin, coach's decision, management's decision. I would have rather battled it out with my teammates, but I don't think 5 minutes in the morning is going to influence my preparation for a game. Reinhardt's actually kind of going out there and battling back with his words. Interesting, but that was 6 years ago, so let's head back over to what was discussed today. There were also some memes coming about from this entire Drouin getting benched and not playing for the entire game situation. Here's what Andrew Weiss said on Twitter. Mikhail Sergachev has more assists tonight than Jonathan Drouin had ice time, so I think the Lightning won the trade. And then on the flip side, you had tweets like this made, like this one by March. Sergachev with a bad penalty. Meanwhile, I haven't seen Drouin make 1 mistake all game. Really makes you think. Of course, they're both kind of joking, but it's poking fun at the fact that Drouin literally did not play a single second. So, yeah. And then, of course, you have the response to the entire situation. Jonathan Drouin said it was the first time in his career that he was late to a meeting. And, okay, cool. There's a lot of people in the replies to this Renaud Lavoie tweet sarcastically saying, oh yeah, sure, oh right, totally, and I'm not going to go out there and immediately jump on any bandwagon and say, oh, because Yzerman wanted to trade this guy away, because the Lightning gave up on this guy, this is really the first time that he went out there and was late to a team practice. I'm not going to go out there and, make any definitive conclusions, but I just wanted to mention that these are indeed things that people are saying in response to Drouin's word on his tardiness, I guess you could say. But there also were a few other things that I think need to be talked about here. Jonathan Drouin said that he was 2 minutes late at the meeting yesterday. He understands Marty St. Louis' decision, though. And again, it's just like we had talked about in the initial video before the scratching was even, or not even the scratching, but like when the team announcement thing was sort of there. When you're late to a practice, you're late to a practice. When you're late to a meeting, you're late to a meeting. You are a top hockey player in the world. And this is the NHL, so there isn't really any tolerance for being late or not waking up on time, getting caught in traffic, whatever. At least it wasn't like Josh Ho-Sang in that situation we had talked about in the prior video too, where he had to be awoken by team staff while everybody was out there practicing because he didn't set an alarm. Here is Arpon Basu's tweet on the entire thing. Drouin was 2 minutes late for the team meeting Friday morning, fully accepted the consequences. Marty St. Louis said he was great on the bench, and he handled the whole situation as well as could be expected. The entire thing is over as far as he's concerned. Drouin also said whether it's 2 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes, you can't be late to a team meeting. It's a rule, and he broke it. He said he didn't hear his alarm. And okay, that's good. At least he had an alarm, not like Ho-Sang, who didn't put up an alarm the entire way through. Tyler Seguin, I don't recall. I mean, we talked about this a few days ago. Maybe I'm a bad YouTuber here, but Tyler Seguin also was late for or he missed, I believe, a team practice, something like that. This is what Coach Marty St. Louis said about the entire matter. I have non-negotiable rules, and Jonathan Drouin missed a meeting, and there are consequences. It's a matter of culture. It's important no matter who you are. You don't pick and choose when your culture is important. It's always important. And so, as the Habs ended up losing 5-3 to the Tampa Bay Lightning, you had Jonathan Drouin sitting there on the bench against his former team with a center core in front of him that had Nick Suzuki, Chris Tierney, and Alex Belzile. It really goes out there and sends maybe even a stronger message that the Canadiens were so short-handed because pretty much half of the team is Laval Rocket, and you had Drouin available at your disposal, and you said, nah, fam, we gotta stick to the rules. We gotta stick to the discipline because the guy broke one of our rules. Plain and simple. So props to Marty St. Louis for going out there and doing that. There was a lot of interesting fodder for this Tampa Bay game. There was that fan that went up to St. Louis and tried to get a picture with him, only for St. Louis to say no. That was kind of unfortunate, to be honest. I felt kind of bad for the girl that went over there and tried to ask, but either way, that is pretty much it, you know? The conclusion on this entire Drouin, St. Louis, late to practice, or late to a team meeting thing, excuse me, and we had ourselves the game, and that's it. Hopefully, this is the last we talk about this, but if it's not, then I guess we'll make another video going over whatever else happens to occur in the future. But for now, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Drouin situation, how it was handled, how the Canadiens played against the Tampa Bay Lightning, and what your thoughts are on Marty St. Louis and his discipline in this situation. Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Juraj, and bye.